Let Them Wonder by Onomonopia. Chapter 37, Final Exam. Oh, good, I was hoping for that. Elemental Platter flowed through Hades as he drove his boot into the chest of Diana, knocking her onto her back. He mossed over to her and slammed his boot on top of her chest, smiling down at her as she struggled to push him off her. Yet, even with the strength of war and her own upbringing, Diana could not bulls Hades at all. You have no power left, Hades informed her. Diana's response was to spit at Hades, before again trying to remove his boot from her chest. Your Amazonian strength fails you. There is no war left in the world. There's only death. And soon you shall join your comrades as my eternal prisoners. Hades had pointed his sight down Diana's throat. I'll miss our little discussions, my dear, but it's time that you finally... A small blast of light struck Hades in the side of the head, cutting him off mid-sentence. He let out a small sigh as he turned his gaze to the stairs behind him, where he spied the seven staring him down. The eyebrow raised upon his family selves, the six of them glowed with delight of the elements. It was far dimmer than it had been when they had given their power to him. So, you kind of disproved the whole entire Zod comment thing you said earlier, didn't you? And just what did you hope to accomplish with that? He asked the six of them. Sunset's response was to charge him with another shot of magic in her palms, before firing it at the god. Hades gave her a look as the spell fizzled out against his chest, before giving another sigh. Very well, I guess we're doing this now. The blur, Hades said the featherless scythe into the face of Wonder Woman, snapping her head back and cracking her nose even further. Joke's on you, this isn't even my real nose! With his only real threat incapacitated for the moment, Hades turned to walk again towards the girls. Why bother attacking me? I mean, you know where this trick's going. Yes, we know. I mean, good golly, even my little pirates had the main six win the final battle. The chances of you doing that in this story are slim to none. You know that with the pitiful remains of your magic, you could not even amuse me, he said as he reminded the girls as he walked up to them, glaring down at the seven with eyes as crimson as the moon. And you certainly stand no hope of even scratching me. So unless you prefer to return to the underworld, then you... Hades was cut off once more as Sunset fired another blast of magic into his face. Hades simply shook his head at her accents before his hand shot out and grabbed a hold of Sunset by her throat. The other girls raced forward and unleashed what magic they had upon Hades. But of course he ignored them as he held Sunset aloft. Did you not hear your god's words? I could kill you with a flick of my fingers, Hades reminded her. But as a surprise, Sunset gave a smirk before flipping up two fingers that made Hades narrow his eyes. Do not tempt me, for with... Then just do it already, Sunset told him. Hades' eyes widened in surprise for a moment before they darkened. Go ahead, kill me. Kill me and my friends. But if you do that, you better get used to not having those elements anymore. Sunset's smile was even wider when she saw Hades widen for just a second before they resumed their angry look. That's right, I know. That's the reason you haven't killed us. That's the reason you haven't killed any of the gods. Because you need them alive if you want to use their power. Sunset explained, who remained silent the entire time. So you could kill us, but the element's power would no longer be yours. Then where that would leave you? You're a fool. Trip. I may not want to risk killing you, but there are other ways to deal with annoyances like you. Hades replied as he tossed Sunset to the ground, then let out a roar as before his body began to shine with the power of the elements. He then unleashed all the elemental power into Sunset, consumed by a beam of rainbow light. I shall turn you to stone, the same as I did, and you call me a fool. Conquest, are you rolling your eyes at this? Yes, I am! I mean, my God! How much of a moron do you have to be? You saw her baiting you. You saw her wanting to do the attack. No! That was a stupid move! You are a very stupid person! So, Lord Conquest, what would you do? Duh, I think it's obvious what I would do in this situation. I wouldn't throw Sunset down and proceed to shoot the rainbow of light into her. I wouldn't instead say there are other ways of dealing with you that do not involve killing you, and then teleport you into the deepest pits of the underworld, chained, preferably in a skimpy bikini. Ripped bikini. Right, moving on. Stood back as the rainbow of light faded. It revealed that Sunset was still standing, a smile on her face and two crimson wings coming out of her back. We are the wielders of the elements. Even if you have their power, we embody them. So trying to use them against us is a losing battle. He snarled. The Sunset aimed her arms at her friends and fired off beams of light into them as well. One by one, they were each infused with their elemental power, causing ponies to grow out of their heads, for their hair extend. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy even got their wings back. Their wings back? Did they ever lose them before? And when we're together, there's nothing we can't do! Sunset yelled as the six of them formed a circle in the air, causing their bodies to glow with divine light. The beams shot into the air and began to form a giant spear of magic. But in a heartbeat, Hades was in front of Sunset. He plunged his hands through the magical barrier and tore her from the circle, cutting off the magic and ceasing the spell that they were casting. Hades then hurled Sunset into the ground with enough force to shatter some of the girl's ribs. Sunset cried out in pain before she began to cough up blood. The other girls lunged forward to try to save their friend, but Hades whipped the backside of his sides around and swatted them out of the air. The other element wielders crashed to the ground, or he struggled to get back up as Hades approached Sunset Shimmer. As I said, fools, Hades said as he lifted his boot over one of her legs. You do not wish to be interrupted, Stone? Very well. And my kindness is at its end. Instead of Stone, I'm going to simply scatter you. Do your worst, but as long as one of us draws breath, we will fight you. Sunset said through pain as she slowly forced herself to sit up. No matter how long it takes, we will never stop fighting. You won't win this war. This war? You fool, the war's over. This little battle of yours was just what I needed. Deus Ex Machina. Ding! He spun around in time to receive 5 knuckles to the face. He staggered back from the sucker punch and let himself open to be kicked in the head. Diana followed up the kick by hurling Hades' helmet to the side, removing her tiara and letting it fly towards Hades. Even though it was sharp as any blade, all the tiara could do was manage to distract Hades, but his distraction was what Diana needed. Are you alright? Diana asked in a weak voice, as they staggered over to Sunset. No, not really, Sunset said with a laugh before she spat up more blood. Diana wore a look of concern as he gazed over each girl. But the girls could see that Diana herself hadn't recovered from the injuries she had sustained either. Diana, what do we do? Rainbow Dash asked Diana. Before Diana could answer, Hades grabbed hold of the back of her head and hurled her into the side of Olympus. In a moment, he was before her, and at least blow after blow and shook the fairy mountain of the gods to his core. Okay, I have had enough! Hades bellowed before punching Diana with enough force to send her hurtling through Olympus and out the other side. Diana weakly pulled herself off the ground before Hades was bent upon her again, driving his fist into the side of her head and knocking her down once more. The battle's over. You cannot beat me. Your student cannot beat me. Now die! Just as Hades was about to sever Diana's soul from her body, another explosion of rainbow light erupted from the other side of Olympus. Hades let out a growl of hate as he turned to face the girls once more. But this time it was only Sunset that stared her down. And we lost it! As he glared down at her with her whole body covered in celestial magic, white wings spread from her back, and a horn of absolute magic extended from her head, giving her the appearance of a goddess. You really don't know when to quit, do you? Hades asked Sunset as he swung his scythe around and prepared to do battle. But upon second inspection, he found that Sunset was breathing heavily, and her form was trickling weakly. Ah, I get it. It's taking all your remaining strength just to stand, isn't it? Yeah, what of it? Sunset asked with a weak smirk, lifted both her arms and fired a beam of pure magic at Hades. The god simply slipped into the shadows to avoid the attack before appearing behind Sunset, slamming the end of his scythe to her head and sending her crashing down to the ground. Sunset, Diana said weakly as he pulled herself over to Sunset, His defined form was flickering weakly as he tried to maintain it. Sorry, Diana. Guess I wasn't strong enough. Guess you were right. Guess I shouldn't have given him the magic. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand by and leave you in his clutches without trying to save you. You are my teacher. And my friend. Sorry I couldn't make you proud. Sunset, do not listen to the words of this fool, Diana said weakly as she pushed herself back up. You are right. We should never give up on our friends or what we believe in. This goes to show I have nothing left to teach you. So, by Sunset saying something that she's probably already learned twice, she's already learned the lesson you taught her? Seriously, there's no growth here. Sunset started off at this position, only broke down thanks to the nightmare, and now she's gotten back to where she started. Diana then forced herself to stand back up, glaring up at Hayes as she placed herself between her and her student. So, does that mean I passed your class? Of course, but I'm going to give you a final question. Diana panned weakly before floating up to confront Hayes once more. And that's easy a way to defeat Hayes because God's help me, I can't. Sunset forced herself to her knees as the battle between Hayes and Diana resumed once more. On the first blow, it was clear to Sunset that Diana was just too tired and too outmatched to even stand a chance in this fight. But she's given the test to me, Sunset thought as she looked down at her fist, trying to think of the pain for a solution to the unstoppable power of Hades. As of her students, I had to think of something, anything to help her. Sunset glanced around desperately for the answer. The gods were no help. The other heroes of Earth have fallen. Well, the Justice League maybe, but the others haven't shown up. I'm kind of miffed. My friends were beaten. Naturally, they're busy playing poker. They can see where the story's going to go. As she and Diana could barely stand. And then there's Hades in that sight of his. Was can drain the godly power of Diana. Sunset thought. Then an idea formed. That's right. Drain the godly power. And wound the very being that made it. With all her power, she forced herself to stand back up, locking away the agony of her limbs that screamed throughout her body. Sunset then dived her arms at Diana and took aim, before unleashing the full power of the elements upon her. The divine holy beam of magic struck the wanderer in the back, and began to infuse her body with power. A Spartan helmet of purest silver formed upon her head, a cape of white crossed her shoulders, and metallic gauntlets of greaves formed on her limbs. So, they've given you the power of the elements as well, have they? Why the hell not? Hayes asked with a laugh as he gazed down at Sunset. Passed on the ground. But yours is nothing more than a small percent of true power. The true power that I wield. Hayes lifted his sight to the sky, where both lightning and rain consumed the blade of the weapon. Hayes then traced his fingers across the blade, fusing it with his own power. Hayes then left Diana and slashed at her with his scythe, gleaming the heavens and earth with each swing. Diana, in turn, blocked every strike of her elemental gauntlets, but just as Hayes said, she only had a fraction of the power. So with each swing of the scythe, the dead sliced away at the gauntlets, sending pieces of them flying away with each strike. It may be only a fraction of the power, but this is the power that Sunset entrusted to me, Diana bellowed as she raised her hand to catch the scythe before it could strike her. The two gods retained each of her before. With all of her might, Diana tore the scythe from Hayes' hands and tossed it to the ground below. Was his weapon gone? He snarled before he charged Diana and slammed his shoulder into her gut. He drove the both of them into the earth, shattering with his power. He then grabbed hold of Diana's throat with both hands, squeezing the life out of her as he constructed the fingers with pure malice. Diana clawed at Hades' face while he struggled to push him off, but he ignored the pain of her efforts to escape began to wane. So, this was your student's grand plan? Infuse you with a weak version of the magic I use? Give you a boost to badly increase your power? See, she does truly take after you. Just as she failed Harry's, now she fails. Ow! Hayes let out a scream of agony as the scythe drove itself into his back and burst through his chest. The gods of Olympus looked slowly behind him to see Sunset simmer, a smile on her face, and scythe in his hands. This had better give me extra credit, Sunset spat out. Do you ever give up? Hayes weakly asked. So, I have a question on this test, Diana. Can we kill death? Yes, you can, Sunset asked before she placed her shoulder against the scythe. Sunset screamed as she poured every ounce of her strength into lifting the scythe. Then the scythe began to drain the godly power from Hades, stealing from him the powers he himself had stolen. But even through the scythe could pierce through Hades and strip him of his power. With broken ribs and exhausted muscles, Sunset could barely move the scythe any further. Gotta admit, Sunset, I don't know either, Diana said as he leapt up forward and grabbed the blade of a scythe that was sticking through Hades' chest, glaring into the eyes of the dark god. Well, we can sure find out. The two then roared together as they swung the blade up, with all their remaining might, slicing through flesh and armor before the scythe threw itself free of Hades. Hades screamed with agony as both blood and magic erupted from his body, bathing the area in the light of crimson magic. Diana felt the power of the elements flowing through her, as their power loved Hades' body, and for a moment she felt their true power. Sunset, Diana said weakly as he floated over to Sunset's side, leaning her student up against her as Sunset let go of the scythe. We have to end this together. This is your power. You need to be able to want to tell it what to do. Go on, Sunset. Time to end this. Hades weakly turned his head to see teacher and student standing together, glaring down at God with the same look in their eyes. Then, for a brief moment, Sunset and Diana were wearing the same outfit, the armor of the gods. You know, when when I scanned this final part of the chapter and saw this, I thought this was going to be cool, but now it just feels like they're throwing Sunset a bone. Sunset screamed as she unleashed all the elemental powers she had upon Hades. She didn't have the strength to cry out as the magic enveloped him. The smile increased his leaves as his body turned to stone. Very well, Diana. This one's yours. Well, one flash of light went off, and when it cleared, the god of Olympus was completely sealed in stone. Sunset and Diana both stared at the god for a moment, before the light of the elements shone into the sky, raining down upon the land to undo all Hades had done. Well, the power of the elements no longer within them, though. All that was left for Diana and Sunset to do was collapse to the ground. Each of them tried not to think of how much the pain sucked as they lay flat on their backs, staring up at the sky. Hey, Sunset, hey Diana? Sunset finally asked, getting a groan out of her teacher, as Diana was forced to turn her head to look at her student. Did I pass the test? Diana blinked once more at her student, letting out a small laugh, and returned her gaze to the sky, which was the same blue as it was once he had left. Sorry, Sunset. I'm going to be using up all my sick days for the next week. From a look at it, it might be your highest grade yet. Last chapter. Woo! Yeah! Yes! Woo, 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 woo. My public. Class dismiss. The briefcase shut closed with a small snapping sound. The last of Diana's papers stored away within. She sighed with relief that her work was done, before she lifted her head to gaze at the empty classroom. While no students were in it at the moment, Diana could still hear them laughing, playing, and panicking whenever she busted out a surprise test on them. She would miss this place. But my time here is done. I taught them all I can. Diana knew. She picked up her briefcase and walked towards the exit of the room, glancing back one last time with a smile on her face before she flicked the lights off and closed the door behind her. The hallway of Canterlot High was devoid of any students as Diana walked through the halls. But when she reached the front door, she found that there were still those who wished to speak with her. Principal Luna, Principal Celestia, what can I do for you? We just wanted to give you this before you headed out. Celestia said with a smile as he placed a small plaque to Diana. Diana received the plaque with a nod before glancing down at it, seeing her picture in the front and the words Teacher of the Year underneath it. Are you sure you wanted to give this to me? Diana asked Celestia with a smirk. I am part of the reason monsters of unspeakable power showed up at your school and attacked all of you. Please. I deal with Sunset and her friends on a daily basis. Monster attacks are nothing new to me. Celestia laughed as she waved off Diana's words. But you also done a great deal of good while you were here, helping the students grow, being stern yet kind when he needed you to be, helping Sunset regain the fire in her eyes that I haven't seen in so long. Are you still what can't convince you to stay in Ononga? Luna asked. Luna, no, X-Day! I kinda like having the students actually listen to us. Of course, it only works when you're all in the room, but still. Sorry, but my home still has a lot of cleaning up to do after what happened with Hades. Diana replied with a shake of her head. Even with the gods restored, Steve brought back to life, as well as those that were lost here, and the Justice League freed from Stone, there's too much that needs to be done. And I'm certain that there's much that you need to do as well. I figured you would say that. Guess I'll have to go back to the megaphone to be heard over the students. Luna smirked with a shrug. Celestia then stepped forward and held out her hand with Diana with a smile on her face. Then I wish you the best in your future endeavors, Diana. It's nice to meet a goddess as kind as you. Diana smiled before grasping Celestia's hand and shaking it. Luna gave Diana a wave, and when Diana returned to her, Diana responded with a nod. As he walked past the both of them and exited the school. Luna caught her hair and caused it to weave gently behind her as he gazed up at the sky. One last stop before I go. One more stop to let it know that all this time I've been afraid wouldn't let it show. Nobody can save me now, no. Nobody can save me now. You had to bring out Battle Cry. I couldn't help it. Imagine Dragons is the only thing that's keeping me going right now. Diana muttered before taking to the sky. As he flew until he reached the field where she had spent many mornings and evenings, training a particular student. The same student awaited Diana's arrival. I raced over to Diana when she landed. Hello, Sunset. Been waiting long? 10 minutes, not that long, Sunset said with a forced smile, but Diana could see the sorrow and tears in her student's eyes. Yeah, I know I shouldn't cry, but this is going to be hard for me, Sunset admitted as she wiped away the tears from her eyes. My world needs me, Sunset. I'll stay longer, but I can't, Diana informed Sunset with a shake of her head. I know. You have to go and be a hero or goddess or whatever you feel like being, Diana, Sunset said with a wry smirk. Who knows? Maybe someone needs you like I did. You don't need me anymore, Sunset, Diana replied. I have nothing left that I can teach you. Now that's a lie, Sunset replied with an even bigger smirk. The end of days must truly be upon us. The spirit of truth lying to our own student. Truly the end times. Well, my views are different than yours, you little smartlock, Diana laughed. But I mean it, Diana. Whenever you want to visit, come on back. I know I wouldn't mind seeing you again, Sunset said softly. Why wasn't it an Applejack? I'm going to ask this further when I get to the end of the review, but I just had that thought. I know, but with the barrier up, it might be hard for me to come visit, Diana replied before she lifted her briefcase and opened it up. And since I won't be always here, I figured I should leave you with a parting gift. Something for you that you might like. Sunset's eyes grew to the size of dinner plates when Diana pulled out 2 bracelets from her briefcase. Bracelets was blazed with red and yellows that reminded Sunset of her hair. Sunset let out a little squeak as Diana offered the bracelets to her, her hands shaking as she took the arm from her mentor. Hephaestus made these for you, exactly the same way he made mine. It's his way of thanking you, Diana informed Sunset as the girl slipped the bracelets onto her arms. Zeus even enchanted them so they'd be as indestructible as mine. But there's another secret. Clap your hands together and believe. Sunset did as Diana asked, and to her amazement, she pulled a sword that blazed like the sun from within the bracelets. The hilt was made to resemble a phoenix, and the guard was that of a phoenix's wings. What made Sunset's eyes mist up was the inscription written on the blade of the weapon. A student of war, a student of truth, a student that made her student proud. In case you ever forget what I taught you, the blade will be there to remind you, Sunset informed Diana, while the girl tested the blade by swinging a few times. It can only be wielded by you, so don't worry about anyone using it against you. How did you manage to do that? Sunset asked as he read the inscription once more. Because it belonged to Ares. It's made up of the blade that Hades ruined. He passed that blade on to me, and now I pass it on to you. Diana said with a smile, while Sunset's eyes mist up once more. But I also have something else for you. Something to help drive away the nightmares in case they ever return. Diana, I can't accept this, Sunset said with a shake of her head as she gazed down at the golden lasso that had been repaired. This is your lasso of truth. This is a gift from your mother. And now it's my gift to you, Diana replied, offering the lasso to Sunset once more. Sunset hesitantly reached down and wrapped her fingers around it, gently pulling it close while giving Diana a stern look. Do not worry. I'm sure Hephaestus will force me another one in time, and if I bother him enough. Why would you give this to me? Sunset asked. For numerous reasons. So you could be this world's spirit of truth, so that you can always expose those who wish to deceive you, and you'll always stay true to yourself. Diana replied with a kind smile. An explosion of magic erupted behind the two, and turned to see a yellow portal that was in an odd shape. That is the symbol of fate. Dr. Fate has opened the portal I asked for. So then, this is goodbye? Sunset asked. Diana's response was to reach out to the girl and pull her into a hug. Sunset hugged Diana back, though far tired than Diana did. After a moment they broke apart. Diana gazed down at her suit one last time, probably playing Sunset through Marshmallow Hell, a place that I wish I was right now. It is not goodbye forever. Just goodbye for now, Diana reminded her, and we will meet again. Perhaps next time you can come see my world. I promise this is a lot nicer when death isn't taking over it. I believe you. And I believe in you. You made me so proud, Sunset Simmer. Never forget that. Diana turned and flew into the portal, waving to Sunset one last time before she vanished into the hands of fate. Sunset watched until the portal closed upon itself, leaving her standing alone in an empty field. Gazed down at the bracelets and lasso of truth, was shone with a light of gold that reflected in Sunset's eyes, and she saw the truth. You girls ready? Sunset asked her friends, each of whom nodded in response. The girls then joined their hands and the elemental power flew through them, lifting them into the sky while a rainbow of light shone amongst the six. They all let out screams as the beam of pure rainbow light ascended to the sky, erupted far above the planet, creating a barrier that spread all across the planet. Did that do it? Dash asked as they all landed on the ground. Yeah, I think it did, Sunset responded as she looked up to see the barrier slowly fall away, but her connections to the elements told her it was still there. Unfortunately, they trapped Conquest in it. Oh, shoot. Looks like our world is finally safe from Hades and any other evil force that comes to this world. But it also might keep Diana out. Doubt it. Diana will find a way back. Easily has to. Applejack said with a smirk. I'll bet she does break the barrier if she's desperate enough. Probably, Sunset said with a shrug, before she sensed something glance behind her. Can you girls give me a moment? I'll meet you by the front of the school. The girls did, she asked, and for a moment later, Sunset was all alone in the back of the school. That was, until a figure stepped out of the shadows to confront her. Agatha, care to tell me why you're sneaking around back there? Sunset asked the girl as he approached, not liking the glare in her eyes. This isn't over, Sunset, Agatha spat. You and your teacher may have stopped my master, but I still wield some of his power. To prove her point, he summoned the black armor onto her. And I promise you, I will not stop until I make you pay for what you've done to me. Does anybody mind if I scream something here? Nope. Okay. What has she done to you? No, really. All we got was those. I may have bullied her in the past at Crystal Prep because I one time visited there, even though I've never actually seen Twilight, so I probably never actually had a chance to meet her. We got no backstory, no flashbacks, no anything to show why you have this deep personal hatred of her. You are just standing around going, I hate her, for no apparent reason at all, other than to put in some false drama because you want to be angry and mad and all dark and mysterious, Why are you even the front here, you miserable piece of scrap? Why was it Crystal that? Yeah, I'm asking. Why wasn't the annoying Brett? You're the oh-so-powerful skeletal demon. Why are you freaking here? Slime! If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a bad guy with lousy motivations. Agatha, aside for whatever I did to you all those years ago, whatever it was, Sunset apologized. There are a lot of things in my life I wish I could do all over again, whatever it is I did to you. But while I may not be able to change how I acted, and you've got to take my word for it, I can decide how to do it now. Just trust me, I did something horrible to you. Sunset stepped forward and held out her hand to Agatha. If you're willing to let bygones be bygones, then I will as well. Did she run over her cat? Did she blow up her favorite bookstore? Did she give her about 1 billion doses of an aphrodisiac and send her to meet Conquest? What? What movie? What? Explain! Please, explain to me! If you're willing to let bygones be bygones, I'm willing to start over. Whatever it is I did. No, Agatha spat out immediately. Not until I've seen you suffer the way me and my master have, and you're going to have to take my word for it that I've suffered. And I will avenge him by doing what he couldn't. I will destroy you. Agatha then advanced into the darkness, leaving Sunset to shake her head at what Agatha said. At that point, an Organization 13 member kicked her out of the portal. Boot! Isn't it bad enough in here without her? You're hurting, Agatha. I know how you feel. And I promise I won't stop until I helped you. Sunset promised before she turned into a statue in front of the school. All of her friends were quickly. Sorry about that. I had an annoyance that needed to be dealt with. No problem. She responded, by the way. Twilight said as he handed the book to Sunset. The other me says the portal is open. Sunset, you sure you want to do this? Yes. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I've been running from this for too long of a time. Sunset admitted as he looked into the portal at the base of the statue. When I can't run, I had to accept my past and make up for what I've done. I can't let my fears rule me forever. See you guys soon. With that, Sunset walked into the portal. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't afraid of what she would find on the other side. It's just not a pony fic with you until you sing at least one time, is it? Nope!
Well, I'm happy to see everything is all right. I will say that I believe you are rushing into this.
Dr. Faye advised Diana, who looked at you and see what's art for war.
You should be resting. Not about to throw yourself into the multiverse to try to find where this maestro vanished to.
You know, I love Dr. Fate and all, but there are days I prefer Dr. Strange.
That's because you were near Fate. You didn't see what he would do just to kill a single girl. Wonder Woman relied Fate, and that was just a single world. He told me that he's been doing this for gods know how long. How many innocents he has killed just to see what would happen. How many worlds or races has he doomed just to prove his theory? He is a monster, and one I must stop. But must you go alone? Fate asked. Diana didn't answer. He let it aside before handing her the device. This is a mental stone, but far more powerful than the regular ones. With this one, and what you told me of Maestro, it will help you find him. But I warn you, this will be unlike any other journey you have gone on.
Thank you, Doctor.
Wonder Woman responded before she used the stone to open a vortex into the multiverse, to where Fate had found a trace amount of Maestro's power.
I must again ask, Diana, why must you go alone? He's not your problem.
Because Maestro made this personal when he attacked my student. He made it personal when he wanted to kill those who had just begun to live to see the results. Diana whispered as he glanced back at Fate, with a look that Fate remembered seeing upon the face of Ares so long ago. Maestro made me his problem. I'm going to make sure he regrets ever having done so. Goodbye, Doctor. Oh, that. Diana. Oh, and goodbye to you too, Dr. Fate. Diana hurled herself into the multiverse. Make sure the one threatened sunset would never harm another again. Or any other being. It would be an unsurmountable task. But Diana was not just any other being. She was a wonder. And she would find him. The end. And back to my previous question. Why not Applejack? I mean, yeah, I know, obviously, a little bit of honesty. But now that I think about it, Applejack would be a far better choice for Maestro. I mean, he picked Sunset at the wrong moment of her career in this story. You know, near the end of the current canon. We had no idea what's going to go on. Or, all we know, the moment he kills her, Twilight's just going to get the element of magic. Or something. Hell, we don't even know if Sunset is technically the bearer of the element of magic in the Equestrian Girls universe. You may have just picked the wrong element, you freak! You may as well just pick the wrong girl, but Applejack? Yeah, why not her? Why not go after Applejack during the beginning of the entire Equestrian Girls movie? You know, when Applejack separated from the others. That would be far more interesting to see what would happen if you took away the element of honesty from it. Twilight can't win. The elements lose one of their weapons. I would have loved to have seen that, Maestro. Why not go after her? And considering the fact of who Applejack is, why not Applejack? Why not her? Why not have Diana train her? Applejack's the one with the lasso. Applejack's the one with the strength. Why not have Wonder Woman train Applejack for a bit? Have her get the lasso. Have her get the strength and all that. Is it because Sunset had main character over her? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Sunset fan. Alright, I'm very pissed at Starfleet humans for what it did to her. And yeah, I'm about to reread the MST for research purposes. But I'm a huge Sunset fan. I love the girl. But really? Just only focus on Sunset? Why not Applejack? Hell, why not kill her human parents in this world? Make her have to go through a lot more hell. Why not have Sunset? Why not have Wonder Woman train Applejack? You just basically said, hey, seize the spirit of truth. Hello? A little bit of freaking honesty over here. Element practically right there for you. Just give her the lasso and say, here, you're the new element of truth. You're the element of honesty. It's a no-brainer. Why not her? Why? Okay. Maybe the author has Applejack have her own story somewhere and she pops up somewhere there, but I'm sure as hell not gonna read it unless I'm paid for it. Because, okay, let me start off the bat. This fic does not suck. Well, at least the beginning of it. It's annoying, is what it is. If you're like me, if you're anything like me, then, quite frankly, this story's just, ugh. It starts off pretty cool. I'll admit that. It starts off pretty great, but I think right around the time of the Zod fight, that is where I see the seams of the outfit, and I suddenly realize that the Emperor is naked. let me start off with a lot of the good. The fight scenes are really well done. I can see how everything's going to happen. They're high pats. The impacts have weight to them, and the strength and all of that really makes an excellent and well done fight scene. The bond with Diana and Sunset is actually pretty well done. I love watching Sunset grow closer to Diana, seeing her as a third mother figure, and feeling protected by her, wanting so much to inspire her. I love how Wonder Woman is learning what it means to be a teacher and seeing all the flaws that she could make and learning not to be overconfident. Also, this writer does a damn good job at Wonder Woman. Batman, not so much, but if you saw his Batman fig, you would understand. Wonder Woman is perfectly in character throughout this story. I love the fact that the author decided to focus on Wonder Woman's compassion as well as her strength and power. I mean, that's what I love about the movie. Was that I remembered that Wonder Woman was also compassionate, besides being super strong and fierce. I love it when stories focus more on Wonder Woman as a human rather than Wonder Woman as the stereotypical Amazon of I'm strong, I'm a warrior, yeah, I'm gonna eat raw meat, yeah. Not to say women are frail, but I like seeing more sides of her because, let's face it, by doing that, they make Wonder Woman into a one-dimensional character, and that really takes away any ability for me to care for her as a character. Speaking of which, I also love Wonder Woman's interactions with Athena. I do like some of the villains showing up, and Zod was a joy to play, though I am going to bring out some complaints about this. And I love seeing Grundy again, too. Hayes was also a blast, and Maestro is a gray area when it comes to me liking or hating him. At first, he was kind of interesting, but over time, he slowly faded away into a perfect Gary Stu villain. Yeah, that's not to say every villain has to be easily beaten, that every villain has to be intensely thought out. What I mean is, there's a difference between Maestro being overly powerful versus Doctor Doom. See, or Lex Luthor. They always know how to outsmart their opponents, but we also see their failings. We also see their weaknesses. This guy, I'm trying to figure out how did anybody manage to outsmart him? Which is another gray area for me with this. His pettiness. As I've joked with Conquest before, he says, I now have to wait for another world to try it out on. Well then, dude, why care? You just made it sound like you're only doing this for your own self-gratification, and well, I've got a few things you can do for your own self-gratification, but they involve tissue paper, a dark room, and a lot of alone time. Why not get yourself a cat or something? Oh god, I'm turning to Spider-Man now. Actually, I would love to see Spider-Man riff on that idea. Dude, it's over. You lost. Get over it. Why don't you get a cat or something? You look like a cat person. Boom! Oh. Dog person. Definitely a dog person. Boom! Would you prefer a Tweety Bird? I know this great pet shop down in Queens. Boom! Mr. Me. But really, and one thing I can't stand is a villain coming off as petty. This guy seems like he was above all this. He could have just laughed and said, well, now it's time for me to try. He even pointed out how worthless it was in the final few chapters. Like, well, yeah, you guys are corrupted with your influences. Doodles, well, Congratulations! You already got what you wanted! Now you're gonna see a different world pop up after the mere changes! This dude, go home. You have an easier time at this rather than taking somebody off. Okay, conquest. He conquers because he feeds off of the power. This guy just did because it felt good. I just feel like just shaking my head at this and telling him, dude, go home, you're drunk. He quickly becomes a very, very worthless villain in my eyes. And apparently some part of the myth arc, so maybe he has more characterization there, but I really don't care. If you didn't entrench me in this story, I'm sure as hell not going to probably give the earlier ones a chance. Which is probably the start of this fix problems. It was a myth arc, and they didn't even warn me. They didn't make references. The summary didn't say that, oh, by the way, here's a villain that will pop up. And I'm going to explain a little bit of his motivation, but if you didn't read some of the earlier stuff, it's going to be a hell to get through. Because then he started making mentions of that Silver Mare, whoever it is, and the comments started making mention of Ryan, which has human OC written all over it. And I've been doing this for a while. I've been on the run. Because now all I'm trying to figure out is, what the hell were you talking about? It's like how somebody would complain about somebody saying something on DBZ when they came into the middle of the arc. You feel like shaking your head and going, dude, let's go. Before you can actually show them the rest of the story. And that leads to the rest of this fix problems. Like I said, I didn't really see I was excited for the most part until near the end, and that was when the problems showed themselves. That is when the seams came apart. The moment Sod came in, that was when I lost it. Because it came to me a realization. I was not reading a Wonder Woman fic. I was reading a Wonder Woman fic with just this random girl who calls herself Sunset. That was in it. It was no longer Equestria Girls. It was just Sunset. It was just Wonder Woman helping out Sunset. That was it. Now, I know I praised it earlier, but I can't help but feel like that also was a deterrent to the story. Because, quite frankly, the other main six were just hangers-on, little pieces drifting in the wind. You could have still had the main six interact with Sunset in between them. You could have had moments where they saw Sunset hurt and Fluttershy tried to help her. Applejack having good long moments with Sunset. Hell, even having Sunset talk about her nightmares would have been something. Something that would have shown that Sunset was actually interacting with the other characters. Because, I don't know about you, but I also love the interactions between the girls. But it was left out. You could have still had that teacher-mentor relationship. It still had plenty of time for friendship moments. All you had to do was just make it 6,000 words longer, or about 4,000 words longer, and you could have had plenty of time for Sunset to have a nice little powwow with the other girls. But you didn't. And that's another problem. All the characters are OOC and flanderized. And are just turned into little hangers-on who are just meant to cheer on the character while big, brave Wonder Woman takes over and does everything. That's why it gets Grundy. Oh, well, we could have seen the main six do something. Nope. The fight against Zod.
And I do love that the author actually did comment on this, and then somebody else commented on the same thing about, oh, what about Zod? Okay, a couple of things. One, ding! I think Zod was too overpowered. Two, ding! This is my problem with the villains again. Why? Why Zod? Why Grundy? Surely you could have picked a few other villains out of Wonder Woman's rogues gallery. I mean, you got Lex, you got Joker, you could have picked somebody, anybody out of Wonder Woman's long list of rogues, and they could have filled a much better point. You could have brought in Giganta, Dr. Psycho, Cheetah, brought back in Ares. Yeah, I still admit that the author used New 52 stuff. Anytime you use the New 52 around me, I get a little peeved. You could have used anybody. But, nope. Okay, maybe except for Egg Foo. No. I would have loved to have seen Egg Foo. Cersei. Let's see who else we got here. Genocide. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Human Fireworks. There's a villain called Human Fireworks. Jinx. Mayfly. Morgana. Osira. Did I miss this deal already? I mean, did I already miss an Artemis? Titan. Urang. No, not you, Titan. That other Titan. Or Zara. Trinity. Angleman. I am serious. Look him up. Anybody could have worked. But nope. They all just flew by the wayside, and we had to watch Wonder Woman fight Zod. That's point one against it. Which means you could have had a perfectly good opportunity to bring in if power level discrepancy was such a problem. If it was so hard for you to come up with a villain for the main six to fight alongside Diana with, then you had a perfectly good rogues gallery that could have taken you 5 minutes to look up. That's point one. Point two. During the fight itself, you actually did so what Zod, how the main six could have done anything against Zod. You actually had Sunset stab Zod from the back. Yeah, remember that? Because I do. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. But you wrote it so that way Sunset would miss. If you didn't have Sunset miss at that last moment, she could have really killed Zod. You also showed later on that apparently Sunset and the others could activate magical laser beams. Why did you not do that? Why did you not have barriers, flamethrowers, something to show that Zod was weak against magic? You could have done that as well, and that would have worked just fine. 3. That was all. You cannot get away with that. I don't let Mikey get away with that. I sure as hell don't let Von Doom get away with that, and I'm not letting you get away with that. That is an excuse just so that way you could say, oh, look at how powerful Zod is compared to the main six. That was insulting. Because quite frankly, I didn't feel any love or respect for the characters when you say that. I feel like you're just trying to wag your big old freaking writer dick in front of me and telling me, see, look at how powerful my characters are. Look at how powerful my characters are. It just felt wrong. And when you start giving me flashbacks to Von Doom, and if you've been fans long enough, you know how much I hate that son of a bitch, then yeah, you messed up. You done messed it up and ticked me off. So yeah, congratulations, you really got me onto this one. And then, the final battle. Nope, the main six barely do a dang thing, because, nope, gotta let Wonder Woman hang it all out. Main six barely do anything else. Never an out character just so Wonder Woman can look good. That is not good writing. That is failing crossover rule number 1. And that is, don't make the home team look like stupid infidels who don't deserve to be high on praise with your freaking other character. Because that doesn't show respect to any side. It doesn't show respect to the characters you're crossing over with. It doesn't show respect to the character that you're using with because you're trying to make them seem like they're so much better than they are. It's kind of like why I detest Frank Miller or I detest Act of God. Because those basically are insulting to Batman because they're basically saying that, oh, look at how powerful he is, and all I feel like is that the writer is trying to force that down my throat. Doesn't help that, oh, Rainbow Dash had apparently this huge arc of learning how to better herself as a student that we never got to see. We never got to see a dang thing. It was just, oh, I had bad grades. Nope, no, I got better now. I got a B. We're not going to see you being helped with. God, even Mikan showed off how you were being helped. But this, nope, this, yeah, I was helped. I mean, I had problems, but I got over them. Oh, and let's stop. Speaking of villains, what was the point of the trio? You know, Crystal, Agatha, and Boulder. And before you say, well, Agatha was the Skull Knight. No. The guy from Berserk that saved Casca and Guts, he is a Skull Knight. This is just... She was evil. Sunset bothered her. How? She felt alone. How? She had 2 good friends. She was bullied. How? She was ostracized. How? She was feeling alone. How? Because, yeah. When you have to use that word because and can't come up with anything, guess what? Not only is that cheap writing, that feels like it was just a cheap way to try and make her evil. Ooh. No, no, and no. Now she's just a flat character that, quite frankly, I felt like was a, how you say, a useless piece of animation. She was just there to be there. She really didn't help out Sunset's character arc at all. Wait, did Sunset even technically have an arc? I mean, she started off fine with the students. Then she had a bunch of nightmares that made her feel really, really down. Then Wonder Woman took care of them. And speaking of problems, the whole plot point where Agatha betrayed Sunset and made her feel down was another waste of writing, as it really, really didn't add up. I mean, she gets betrayed by a villain. Okay. Why should she care? She is turned evil. Okay. You know what would really, really help? If there was no betrayal. If the girl didn't cheat. Because I feel like Sunset would be more ticked off that she was cheated rather than saying, I failed because, I did my best to actually help someone. Oh, wait. This was a call forward, wasn't it? This was supposed to be a freaking call forward so that way you could talk about and use that to match up with what Sunset did when she helped save Diana's life by giving up her magic. Well, while I can appreciate an attempt to make a good writing trope work, this did not. Again, Sunset should have been more angry that she was cheated out of the win rather than, I failed. No, she should have realized she failed when she ran forward. Now, she also should have felt bad when she gave up Hayes' magic. But then apparently that switched. Wonder Woman said she did fail because she was being noble. Make up your mind, Wendy! Every single moment of this fic near the end started to drive me up the walls. But it's not horrible. If you check it out, you'll probably find something you can like about it. You might be able to find something you can enjoy. I'll probably still keep it on my favorites just because, quite frankly, there are some good bits of it. Same reason why I keep the Luffy story still on my favorites, because well, I still enjoy looking up some of the parts I do like. There are very few fics that I find absolutely horrendous, but this, not really one of them. It's annoying, and it's going to drive me up the walls, and I'm going to feel like I want to shoot my head off for a moment, but it's not exactly like it's going to. It's not exactly like it's going to rank high on my top 10 list of most annoying and bad fanfics. Yeah, it just feels like this fic just didn't want to try near the end and just wanted to tell a simple DC story. It, and if they wanted to do that, fine. But tell one of the main six stories too. And no other plans to make heroes, teachers in the main six or humane seven. And that's another reason why I'm never going to read another one of these stories ever again. Well, one of his stories. And I can't help but notice that my read later file does have that Samurai Jack style. So maybe I should take it off before I have to watch Samurai Jack spend another 5 minutes fighting a coup. Or worse, the whole entire fight turns out to be a recreation of the ending of season 5. Help! Yes, a little annoyed by that. I can resist. Next time, we're going to go with another fic that sadly didn't have an ending. Rarity. I am Verity Bell, live in time displaced, thanks to an accident by Twilight Sparkle several years in the future. Sunset is gone, Celestia is gone, Luna tries her best, and my dear sister is gone. What can I do? Coming up next, Lost Time. I'll see you then.